And welcome back to the Bettor Hour. It's time for Stock Up, Stock Down NBA edition with free agency in full swing. Let's have a little bit of discussion here and talk about some teams and whether we see their stock going up or trending in the wrong direction. Let's go through some teams. Let's start with the Timberwolves. Jeff, I'll start with you. Do you see that stock rising or trending down?
Oh, I'm going all the way up, man. I think they were my number 2 in our power rankings yesterday, and it was for a reason. They went all in. They cashed in their chips. They have great players. Seeing Cat at the 4 is going to be something that's amazing. They're bringing spectacular defense, 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year, probably going to win it. It might turn into his award at the end of the day, right? Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards ready to make that superstar leap. We're going to see he's a MIP candidate also. And solid play from D'Lo. Like, this was the move that they needed to make that we probably as fans didn't think that they were going to make.
Go
ahead. But my stock up, Minnesota, they cashing in.
John, I don't know how two bigs are going to work in today's NBA, but
listen, man, the bigs are going to figure it out. Fortunate enough, Karl Towns is arguably the best shooting big in the NBA, give or take, right? He won 3-point contests. I think it's going to create all types of mismatches, and also they can have they can have a jumbo lineup, they can have a small lineup, which is going to matter in the playoffs. And I'm going to be honest, man, I know Philly's in the East and you've got some teams with these bigs, but, you're going to need a big guy down the stretch eventually. Mm-hmm. And I think Minnesota has shored that up, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
A big guy saying they need big guys. Shocker.
Yes, sir.
So Monaco, Jeff and John are on up for the Timberwolves. What do you say?
I'm on up, Glaze. I think this is a team that is going to try something new. We talked about it earlier this week. They lacked in defensive rebounding, points in the paint. They kind of got bullied a lot. And defensively speaking, they can improve. You get a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, that'll help. And I also made the analogy, we live in a NFL where everyone's playing run and gun, spread, Madden, 5 wide receivers. This is the 3-point NBA. Can you go I-form and go a little ground and pound and try to beat people up and make other teams in the NBA play your game? So I'm going to be very interested to see how this shakes out with the Big 4 and the Big 5.
Definitely going to be interesting. All right, let's talk some Lakers now, because this one's interesting because when we're talking about stocks, right, sometimes you buy into the rumors and maybe you get in at a good price. So with all of the talk about Kyrie and the links to LA and, there's mutual interest there, right now with the Lakers, do you see that stock going up or down?
Oh, I see it's down. I got it as stock down. Just because the old Lakers that I knew would have been made a deal already. Why isn't it happening? Why is it that it's taking so long, right?
What's going on?
Why is it taking so long? I would be super dramatic. I don't think we need to hang on my every word, but I'll just say we don't know what they're going to be until they are when the season starts. And we don't know whether these deals are going to be made, right? We don't know if there is going to be a Kyrie trade. Are they going to stand pat? But as of now, I don't know. There's no real clear direction as to where they're going. With the team that they have now, if everybody's healthy, I think they can make a run in the playoffs, but it looks like they're trying to make that jump to get into the top 4 and solidify a playoff spot. Right now, I don't know where it would be.
Talking top 4. Bron trying to win a chip.
I mean, look, you got to crawl before you walk. Right. And right now, they've been
Bron doesn't want to hear any of that top 4.
Well,
John, stock up or stock down?
Down, man. But shout out to my guy, Darvin Ham. I had him in Milwaukee. I think he's going to do a good job of holding guys accountable. I think the Lakers need to create an identity. There's no identity. Is LeBron? Is it AD? Are we picking and popping? Or is LeBron shooting threes? What's Russell Westbrook doing, right? And I think they need to create this identity. And I'm also got him down because I know LeBron is timeless and time does not work on how he plays, but he's getting older. He needs more help. AD's got to stay healthy. Westbrook needs to learn how to facilitate more as he's getting into the older years. But right now, like you say, we're not going to know who they are until they are.
Right.
Monaco, imagine doubting LeBron, doubting the Lakers. What are you saying? Are you selling the stock on the Lakers? You down on them too?
I'm doubling down. If this team is 11th in the West, I will go on MSG. I will shave my fro down to Dr. Evil status. This team has to make the playoffs. Henson played with Ham. I think he's a leader of men. I think he's going to completely shapeshift this culture. I don't think they're done yet. Vegas knows. Tell me why this team was plus 2,000 on DraftKings a cup of coffee ago, and now they're down to plus 1,100. Something's in the works. I don't know if it's Kyrie. I don't know if they're getting a Kemba buyout. They're getting more talent. They are not done, and it's not going to be 8 clutch players either, as I'll lose my mind if that's the case. But I'm going stock up. This team's going to the playoffs, all right?
It might be a stock down situation, but you buy the stock just in case it shoots
You
back
buy the
up,
rumors.
right?
That's what I'm saying. The rumors are they're coming right
I can
now.
meet you there.
Lakers recession.
All right, let's go to the East and let's talk about the Bulls because they obviously the big signing for them was getting Zach LaVine to lock in for a long-term deal there. Chicago Bulls kind of interesting because it's kind of the same roster that they had, which was, I mean, they were strong for a good part of the season and kind of tailed off a little bit. So, Jeff, stock up or stock down on the Bulls?
Yeah, I got stock up on the Bulls with kind of like a little bit of volatility where it's like up, down, up, down, up, down, but they're trending upward. They made the signings that they need to make. The big question mark is Lonzo Ball. So I'm going with the assumption that he can come back from that injury because the reports that you hear is people are skeptical that it's going to fully heal and is it going to be like one of those lingering issues? We don't know yet. But I think they don't really have another option other than running it back and seeing what they can do. Hopefully having their whole team healthy. Remember, we have short memories. They were one of the best teams in the league. DeRozan was an MVP candidate in the first half of the season. They can probably replicate that. The East has gotten better. But I think for now, they've done what they had to do to remain competitive. So I'll give them a stock up.
I got stock up too. As you say, I think it's a stagnant bounce, man.
Right,
kind of, fluttering a little bit. I like the Drummond pickup as well because Vucevic needed a guy to kind of like complement him, being around that rim as a rim protector. DeRozan obviously looks like he was just chilling in San Antonio, right? Until he got to a team that he was ready to go. LaVine, obviously, we don't know how that knee's holding up as well, even with Ball. So right now it's up, but we got to see I think the preseason is going to be important for those guys. The young kid, Patrick Williams, who's coming back from an injury. So a lot of question marks, but given their roster, if they can figure it out, I do look for them to be a top 4 team in the East.
Monica, what do you think about the Bulls?
I'm up on the Bulls for everything that Jeff and John just mentioned. I'm a believer in Lonzo Ball. I think he's a guy that can absolutely will you to the playoffs. We haven't seen him healthy in the NBA many of his early seasons to start his career, but I like that they didn't get rid of Pat Williams. Vucevic clearly worked. It's a decent scheme there. And I'm a believer in Billy Donovan's coaching abilities. I think it's a playoff team, mid-tier East. Second round bounce, probably upside ceiling, but I'll go up on them considering they finished 6th last year.
All right. And just as a broader touching point, it's a weird time to kind of buy into any NBA futures. You don't really know what these teams are going to look like come the fall, so definitely be careful when you are wagering with the NBA futures right now. That'll do it for Stock Up, Stock Down. When we come back, we're going to give you some Wimbledon updates as we get ready for the finals with the men and women. Stay with us. Bettor Hour. We'll be right back.